Okay, before we get to the video, I'd like to state that I love anime and I have a sick obsession with gore, and not just meaningless gore like Corpse Party. I like my gore with a plate of storytelling and a side of likable or unlikable characters. 4 of my top 5 anime include Parasite the Maxim, Attack on Titan, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Devilman Crybaby. And before you scroll down to the comments to type up a 100-page essay on why Toradora or One Piece or whatever your favorite anime is deserves to be in my top 5, calm down, take a shower you incel, and save your comments until after the video. So now that I have your attention, allow me to ask a question. Why is this anime so popular? I made it all the way to episode 10 before I got bored of it and put it to the side. This was an anime I wanted to like, I really did. The concept of a mysterious, deadly abyss in and of itself should be enough to maintain my attention, right? Wrong. Okay, if that's not enough, then surely the characters will compensate for the boring hole, right? Wrong. Okay, before I go on a tangent, let me try and organize this video at least a little. Also warning, there will be spoilers ahead. The show starts off by introducing us to our protagonist, Riko, and her pointless friend Nat, who is one of 3 orphans who serve virtually no purpose to the story. Within the first 2 minutes, we get to see Riko's immaturity flash as she interacts with her friend. She complains about her friend going ahead of her, so she insists on taking the lead, and after a minute of exploring, she stumbles upon a skeleton underneath a rock.
Help me! Help me!
Right off the bat, this should serve as a warning on how serious the abyss can be, but she continues looting anyways. As she's carrying her loot, she stumbles upon a big pink flying snake tadpole thing and gets her shit rocked. Completely defenseless and already prepared for death within the first 5 minutes of the show, she gets saved by some abomination of a creation named Reg, with a mechanical laser arm that's just a mix of Robo-Boy and that gray-haired girl from Akame ga Kill. Now use that same formula 5 or 6 times of Riko getting saved and that's made an abyss. I'm not even going to get into the tropes this show uses, like the strict orphan caretaker, or the laid-back instructor, or the cool uncle. Well, actually I can't name a single other show like that. So, okay. Maybe the tropes aren't that common, but you get the point. It's just so predictable and cliche. Also, I understand Riko is just a kid, so she hasn't had the chance to mature, but she should at least be able to use a little common sense to understand that she doesn't have what it takes to explore the abyss. As we get deeper into the abyss, we meet Ozen the Immovable, who gets her name after being 6'5" and having Hall of Fame brick wall. We also meet a lolly-trapped Great Value version of Rem, called Marlk. He serves no purpose to the story besides being a lonely shut-in NEET who has no friends to play with. Going back to Ozen, she completely bodies Reg in a fight and backhands Rizzo with a single finger, sending her flying across the room. Watching Rizzo getting absolutely embarrassed was honestly the best part of this show. Anyways, it turns out Ozen is actually cool because she was friends with Rizzo's mom in the past, so she just wants to see Rizzo accomplish her dreams or whatever. So she takes Rizzo and Reg to some forest in the abyss to fend for themselves and train for 10 days with no supplies, food, or water. They somehow accomplish their training and now have the Ozen certificate of approval to continue going down the abyss. Before they left Ozen's treehouse, they also have a touching moment with Marlk, but I could honestly care less about that scene. That certificate of approval didn't mean jack, as by the next episode they were fighting for their lives again. They stumbled upon that same pink purple tadpole snake thing from episode 1 and get cornered, so Reg had to resort to using his trump card, which incapacitated him for 2 hours. During those 2 hours, Rizzo carries Reg on her back and falls into a pocket pussy pog face frog in the floor and nearly gets digested until some lemming type animals come to her rescue. Another case of plot armor in this show. Hallucinating, she hardly has the strength to carry Reg out of the cave they had trapped themselves in and falls to the floor from fatigue. By pure luck, the pink purple flying tadpole snake thing appears just as Rizzo thought she had caught a break. She refuses to go down without a fight and uses a netherite pickaxe to mine at the monster. Luckily, Reg wakes up just in time to realize Rizzo was about to get bodied again and uppercuts the monster with a left-right combo. Reg saves Rizzo like always, and then they're off to exploring again. Episode 10 has to be both my favorite and least favorite episode in the series. It's my favorite because Rizzo gets to suffer, and it's my least favorite because of how out of the blue the action is. It's so predictably unpredictable. They just throw this random monster in your face for the millionth time, and you're expected to sit at the edge of your seat, wondering how the gang will get out of the predicament this time. During the fight, Rizzo gets stabbed by a quill of the polar bear porcupine monster, and Reg has to save the day again, except this time is different. Unlike the previous fights, we finally get a real taste of just how brutal the abyss can really be. Rizzo is nearing death as she was injected with poison from the quill. As she's suffering, she tells Reg to cut off her arm to stop the poison from spreading. Reg grabs a rock and hesitates before smashing her arm to break her arm and make it easier to cut. Right as he's making the first incision, a mysterious bunny girl not senpai comes up to tell Reg that they can still save her arm. Reg follows the bunny girl with Rizzo in his hands and takes her to her base. And that's where I stopped watching. My problem with the series isn't the world building or the story or the characters, it's Rizzo. She is so stupid, selfish, immature, and inconsiderate towards others. I wish she had died in the first episode, to be honest. I like my fair share of stupid characters like Subaru from ReZero and Shinji from Evangelion with limited character development, but Rizzo is something else. I hate her and I stopped watching after episode 10 so that I can imagine a non-canonical ending where she died right then and there. End the story. Rizzo was made in garbage.
If you dig a 6-foot hole, how deep is that hole?
It's about like 20 feet.
In all seriousness, this show isn't that bad, but it isn't that great either. I'm sure the series gets better as the show progresses, but those first handful of episodes were so boring, and I couldn't invest in any of the characters because of how unlikable they were. Also, that scene in episode 10 felt so forced and felt like a scene from Corpse Party, just unnecessary gore. I'd give this anime a 7 out of 10, at best.